How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. Today, I want to have a quick, live feed and discussion to 7 ways that small business owners can borrow money. Again, we're going to talk about 7 ways small business owners can borrow money. Again, I am Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. On Mr. Short Dollar, we talk about personal finance, business, entrepreneurship, and real estate investing. And to stay on top of everything, I need you guys to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And that's just hitting that $ in the bottom right-hand corner. Right now, we are streaming live on the YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar, also the Facebook channel as well. So again, today we'll have a quick discussion about 7 ways small business owners can borrow money. Right now you have a lot of opportunities out there for small business owners to be able to get a chance to get money, and unfortunately, a lot of people just don't know what to do, right? They go to traditional ways. People right now going crazy hearing about these PPP, Hba Loans, and just different other things. And I know we've had a lot of people respond to the grants or everything that we've been posting those videos on. But I just want to have a quick discussion with you small business owners out there, or if you're looking to be a future entrepreneur, small business owner, some options that you may have to borrow money or acquire funds. And again, and what I will say this, and I see everybody coming in and everything, any questions that we'll have, we'll actually roll everything over to the end once we get through the discussion where we talk about the 7 ways small business owners can borrow money. After we get through everything, I'll go through all you guys' questions, ask your questions on there, if that's okay with everybody. Okay, now again, we're talking about 7 ways small business owners can borrow money. The first thing I want to do is probably one of the easiest things to do when you get your bank account. Get your bank account with a bank, and you open up the business checking or saving account, and that's being a line of credit. The cool thing is with a line of credit, and I always tell my clients about when you get a line of credit, is that number one, this is one of the key things with a line of credit. People don't tell you, always ask for more than what you need. So if you need just like a $20,000 line of credit or $50,000 line of credit, put on an application $100,000. They'll never give you what you ask for. So you ask for $100,000, you get 75. You have 75, you get 50, and so on. But and what you qualify for, what you qualify for. But the cool thing about the line of credit, what I always try to get people to understand, is that it gives you always have that access to the funds, and you're not paying for what you don't need. So example being, say if you have a occurring charge each month, $5,000. Let's say your payroll is $5,000 a month, and you actually don't get your revenue in till the next month in. I'm using myself for example. You have like the cleaning company. You have a cleaning company, and you're doing work for the month of April. You're doing work for the month of April. You're gonna send the invoice out at the end of the month. You might not get paid for it till the end of May or early June. With that said, you still got to pay payroll. You got other expenses for overhead going on between then. You have a line of credit, but it's a $20,000 line of credit, but you only need to borrow maybe $5,000 at that particular time. You'll use just $5,000 of that in that particular bill that next month for, just say if you use it in April, on your May bill, you may have to pay $150 to just cover that particular $5,000 loan. And that might be stretching, just throwing numbers out there. But if you do that, now you say that you covered everything up. When the invoice is paid at the end of May, early June, just pay that off, and then you're fine with that. That's what the beauty of having a line of credit. The thing of it is now you're not sitting there just borrowing. Just say if you have a situation where one month you only need $5, another month you need $10, another month you only need $1,000, and you're now on the hook for everything. You're just on the hook for what you borrowed at a particular time. But the key is what? You have access to capital. That's what we always talk about. Remember that. Always try to get access to capital when you don't need it. So that's the first option, that being the line of credit. Guys, remember to stay abreast of all this good information. We have a lot of different more videos about lending and different loan products on Mr. Short Dollar. So, again, to stay abreast and be able to access all that information, hit that $ in the bottom right-hand corner to subscribe to the channel. And again, that was the first one where we're talking about 7 ways for small business owners to borrow money. The second one is talking to your bank, getting your basic loan. Here's the deal. I always say banking is all about relationships. You always want to make sure, again, we go back to having access to capital when you don't need it. So when we go to the banks, explain to you who you are. Hey, I'm Deonte Burden. I got this particular company. I want to know what are your different loan products. I want to get a loan or whatever. 2 things going to all come with the loans. One is that it's either going to be a personal guarantee required or even, some kind of security mechanism, right? So we start looking at that being that personal guarantee. That's where I see so many videos out here where people are talking about being able to borrow this money and using your DUNS number and everything. I just personally want to see, as a person that's got several SBA loans, and I'm not talking, this is pre-COVID and everything, that has done, you talking about going 7 alpha. You're seeing people get loans, access over $100,000. And like I said, we're not talking anything about disaster loans or anything like that. I hear people saying, okay, you just use your business. You don't have to put yourself on there. Your credit is not going to be used. I just really want to know if those people actually got loans, because it's not that simple. They're going to actually want, now again, the actual loan will not be on your personal credit, but at most of the times they're going to want an individual being a personal guarantor. What I mean by personal guarantor is they'll run your credit and basically want anywhere from high 6s, preferably over 700. And the bank or the lender will use you as the personal guarantor. So if the business does default, they can come back on you, right? But there is no credit implication or anything like that. They'll run your credit just for verifications. But then they use other factors that they'll validate the loan and everything to approve you for, but they still want an individual for that, right? The second thing is, and we talk about this also, is the whole secure loan mechanism. You got to be willing to sit here and put certain things up. Say it'd be a house, car, other assets, maybe collectibles or things like that, but they may require you to put that up. And again, we're not talking about borrowing $100 or $1,000 or anything like that. We're talking about just your basic loan products that they maybe wanted to be collateralized with it. If you know it's pretty stable, you feel pretty confident in what you have, that might be something they'll require. Again, we're talking about the person guarantor, or they have a secure mechanism in place where they will require some kind of collateral. And that was number 2. We're talking about talking to your bank, getting an actual business loan. The third thing is being your own bank. What I mean by being your own bank is somewhat personal financing yourself. If you have retirement products set up, just say if it's your 401k, 457 plan, Roth or anything, anything that you can actually borrow money against the actual the retirement plan and pay as you go from there. And I might have mentioned 457. I don't think you can borrow against a 457. If I said that, I apologize. But theoretically, what I am talking about is just borrowing against your retirement account and paying as you go, to fund your actual business endeavor, and paying the business paying their amount back. Even if you turn around and your job takes it out of payroll, disbursements or whatever, but you can refund yourself with that. But that's what we talk about, self-funding yourself, using some kind of self mechanism that you already had that you can use, or you drawing money out if it can be from your retirement account. You use some other product that you have you can borrow against, kind of like sometimes you may take a line of credit out, or borrow against your particular home. You're self-financing yourself against something you have. Now the business can pay that loan back that you pulled out yourself, but again, you're using something that you have, something that you own, borrowing against it to fund your business endeavors. That was the third thing, being your own bank. The fourth option is borrowing from family members and friends. Okay, now here's the deal with that. Well, we talked about in the video before, we don't want to lose relationships behind borrowing from family members and friends. So we want to make sure we got everything, number one, in black and white. What we talk about all the time is what, guys? If you borrow somebody, or somebody borrow from you, they can't pay you back. Don't be that fool. Don't be that fool. Love your family members, care about your friends and everything. But if they don't have the capacity, they may have the intention, but they don't have the capacity to pay you back, don't loan it to them. And the same thing goes for you. If you know that you're going to borrow from somebody that you love and trust, and they're only going to give it to you. They may not see your dream, they may not see your vision, but because they love you and care about you, they will fund your endeavor. You should not borrow from them if you ain't got a capacity to pay them back. Okay? All right? Just remember that. So again, that's the fourth option, borrowing from family members and friends. Okay? The fifth one is what's going crazy right now, the SBA loans. Okay? Small Business Administration, the SBA, is a federal agency, and I love the SBA. I've been dealing with the SBA for the past 15 years. Your federal tax dollars pay for them. They can do all kind of stuff for you. You just have to take advantage of it. A lot of people right now getting the PPP loans. I know I got a question in the comments about a PPP loan. I'm going to circle back with everything, once I get through talking. But at number 5, SBA loans. That agency can help you out with so many things with your small business endeavors. The only problem with the SBA, and it's not really a problem, you have to be in compliance. Your ducks got to be in a row. You can't come in there if you don't have a actual quote unquote business. Now, your business may not necessarily have to have all this traction and producing all these particular numbers, but you're going to have an incorporated business with a business license, tax ID number. You might have to, start drawing some kind of financials or anything like that, but they'll help you with it. And again, that's your federal tax dollars paid for it. You need to do it. And I'm going to tell you guys, here's the key. Go to SBA.gov, find your local SBA or SBDC, that's Small Business Development Center office, the one nearest you. Google it, right? Book an appointment. One of the drawbacks with the SBA is because it is free. Because it's free, they usually have maybe like a month or so lag between the appointments. So if you call today for an appointment, they can't see you to the end of April. Okay. But then when they see you, they're going to just give you the first initial one, give you your name, fill out this paperwork, talk about your business and everything. They'll find general information about what you're trying to do. If you're trying to get get some coaching, because they have other programs where they can put you with mentors, coaches, and even with the lending and everything. They'll get that background information, but it's more so just like an intake section on their very first meeting. From that point forward, you can sit there and y'all work towards your goal of getting a loan. They can find out your credit score, what you bring to the table and everything, your different assets, but they're going to teach you to make sure that you start getting the documents and getting your ducks in a row to be able to acquire a loan if you want a loan. Okay. But again, even when you book it, then it may be 15, 20 days so they can see you again, but they'll never be constant. But most time when you get an SBA counselor, you can send them email and forward everything to them. And this is, I'm thinking even in terms of pre-COVID, because I haven't done any finance with SBA in the past 2 years, but that was one that made main modes of communication with email. So I can imagine now with COVID, that's the only thing they can do. But it's an awesome agency. It's just I'm just looking at it in terms of the actual, you got to be patient. You got to be patient. But you can get a loan process. A regular loan, like I said, I'm not talking about an idle loan or a PPP loan. A regular loan product can go as fast as 30 days if you got everything together, And again, the key thing, what I always look back at with the SBA, with them was, you don't have to go into Bank of America, SunTrust, any one of these particular banks and fill out his application and you're stuck in a pile. Your agent can call because they know it's already been vetted by them. Because the SBA is just like the VA. They don't give out loans, they back loans. If that makes sense, they kind of, if they're putting their guarantee up saying that if this loan defaults, the federal government will back it. So the banks are more inclined to, deal with them because they have that government backing. Now, with that said, if they get on the phone, hey Ted, you're based in Atlanta like I am, and she knows a bank in Wyoming or know a bank in Montana. Hey Ted, this is Jill. I'm gonna make this. Hey, I got a client right here. I vetted them, everything's fine, and it's approved. Yeah, listen, I did it plenty of times. The way I know, if I would have went through and Deonte Burden would fill out his paper, they probably just balled it up and shot some hoops with it and everything. But that's the key thing with it. Take advantage of it. Google it, your local SBA office, SBDC, Small Business Development Center, because most the SBDC are usually based off your particular state you in, and some of the states will have their own agency with it. But I know here in Georgia, it's still the SBA, and SBDC is just a Georgia arm of the agency. But Google and find your local arm and get on top of that, okay? That was number 5, SBA Loans. The number 6 is government programs. And what I mean by government programs, we always tell you guys to kind of be looking at everything from different perspectives, that being local, county, and state. And you can actually, each city, they already have funds allocated. They can be able to loan out particular citizens in each city, in each county, or the state. And me being here in Georgia, I know, I don't know if the city, any one of the cities in Clayton, I'm based in Clayton County. I don't know if any of the cities based in Clayton had programs, but I know Clayton County in the whole was giving out $10,000 grants. In the fall, they actually have programs they'd be able to assist small business owners, and also even with the state of Georgia. And I know every state is like that because the federal government gave billions of dollars to all these local municipalities. The problem come up is what? Because if you're not in the know, you're not in the loop, you don't know you don't know what's out there. And what happens far too often is, the person is working in the economic development office. They call their friend, hey man, look, we just had a boatload of money come in from the feds. You guys, need to go and apply. And it really never goes to the public because they don't make commercials about this kind of stuff, right? But you got to be very, very proactive. I done told you now, so you need to do it. Call your local city, county, and state agencies just to find out you look at the economic development, city development, business development, pretty much all I'm saying. Offices got different names. Just say quote unquote a place where you got your business license set up at, right? Or a place where you set up your local state LLC at. Call those agencies, find out, hey, do you guys got government funding? You got any kind of funding that you guys set up with? Some of it may be in the form of grants, some of it may be for loans, but just take advantage of it. Those being the government programs, number 6. Number 7, which is the last one, is basic equipment financing. A lot of times people, they'll save up and try to buy a new this, or save and try to buy a new that. We need a new, we got this bakery going on. We want to get this new high-tech oven or cooler that's out there. A lot of construction folk want to buy new drills or God, I'm going blank. Kind of those big Caterpillar dump trucks and everything. I forgot I was driving on, but anytime you have any kind of major acquisitions towards your business, a lot of times people save up and try to purchase it. It's just like this fear of borrowing. That's what we got to get past. The whole fear of borrowing. I'm gonna give you guys an example once I get this last one. That equipment finance is real pivotal because a lot of times you can be able to get equipment where you don't have to come out of all that money at one time. It's a $15,000 piece of equipment. They give you 6 months, 0% financing. Instead of you coming out of that money at one time, if you have it or not. Remember, we talk about business, it's all about cash flow. Once $15,000 gone, it's gone. But $5,000 or $2,500 or $5,000 out this month is not going to bite me as much as $15,000. Why? Because one of my other vehicles broke down. I wouldn't anticipate that happening. That didn't happen, and I don't have the money because I just bought this $15,000 piece of equipment. Remember, guys, when you're in business, it's not if something gonna happen, it's when something gonna happen. And when something happens, you have to be prepared. Okay, we ain't talking about little crumbs, people making crumbs, anything like that. When you're out here in business, you're really trying to make money. You're gonna have those kind of risks and those kind of things happen. You got to be prepared for it. Okay, and that's really what it comes down to. Who's gonna last and who's going to survive is really the person that's most prepared for everything. Okay, so again, those are the 7 things we just went over. The 7 things we just went over were that small business owners can use to borrow money. Number 1 being line of credit. Again, number 2 being talk to your bank. Talk to your bank to get a loan. That can be where you give a person guarantor or secure loan. Guys, also remember the description section. I got the list already set that the 7 ways small business owners can borrow money. The whole list is in the description area of the videos. Number 3 being your own bank. Personal financing yourself off things that you own when you borrow against your retirement account, maybe pulling some money out your house. Your business can pay you back, but you being your own bank with that. 4, borrowing from family members and friends. 5, using the SBA to get their loan products. Okay. Number 6, government programs that they have to lend out to small business in that particular municipality. Remember, look at city, county, and state programs. Okay. And then number 7, doing basic equipment financing. Where instead of you coming out all this money at one time to buy some major piece of equipment, see what kind of programs they have. Most of those companies have a lot of unique programs, 0% finance over so many months or whatever, that you can pay it. And again, just keep your cash flows in a good spot. You're not coming out all that money at one time. 2 things that I want you guys to make sure you avoid when we start talking about ways to borrow money. Number 1 is just credit card debt. Credit cards are probably the most accessible way to get it, but the issue come up is when we start talking about business, the cost to do it. Now, at the end of the day, if that's your only option and you got to make it happen, you got to make it happen. But prepare while you're doing it. Make sure we do all that front end math to say, if I borrow this at this rate, I'm going to pay this. So make sure it makes sense. The math makes sense, okay, if you're going to use a card. But first, we don't do that because the rate is so high. If we're using credit cards, we'll make sure we're using credit cards on transactions we know we can pay back, and it's not going to bite us per the cost to acquire it. The second thing is answer some of the more tricky emails that you get. Hey, I can give you this and give you that. Most of the time, they're not necessarily scams. But the thing of it is, when they give you this money, the cost to borrow, kind of like with the credit cards, is so high. The math doesn't work. It doesn't make sense or anything like that. And again, if you actually go that route, I would advise that you have some kind of attorney or something kind of scrutinize everything to just make sure everything's fine, because a lot of them are legit. Because I deal with a lot of private lenders and they send these emails out just cold calling to people, but the math don't work. The math doesn't work at all. Okay, so I just want to make sure you guys on the front end are very aware of that. And again, we talked about 7 ways small business owners can borrow money. We go over again, line of credit. Number 1, 2, talk to your bank. Get a loan, be secured or collateralized. 3, be your own bank. 4, borrow family members and friends. 5, SBA loans. 6, government loan programs. 7, equipment finance. And again, all the links are in the description section of the videos. And stay abreast of more great information like that. Make sure you hit that $sign in the bottom right hand corner. Stay subscribed to the channel. So now let me go through the question that I had so far with you guys. I want to booger your name up, Mr. Pleader, 1973. Mr. P, I have no idea, but I got you. I got you with your question. This is the first question. Can you apply for the PPP if you started business in 2020? You can apply for the PPP if you started your business in 2020 by February 2020. By February 2020, that was the cutoff date that they gave in regards to if you start your business in 2020. Most of the time, the easiest thing to do, I'm always going to say, go to your bank, and and they give you pretty much the criteria. But the standard is always, it has been that for especially the last round of funding that came in December, was that the business had to be started by February 2020. Okay, that was the cutoff for that. One key thing I want you guys to always remember too, if you got that business set up, unless you're a self-employed contractor, the actual business name and the business account, if you're applying as a business, quote unquote, you need to make sure you got a bank account with that business name, because in the event they do release the funds and give you that loan, they're going to release it to that business. They're not going to cut a loan to the business and then you take the check and deposit it personal. All your ducks got to be in a row. Man, we're dealing with the federal government. Everything got to be in compliance and correct. So just something to keep in mind. With that, but not a base recap, just getting here. So I think I did it a couple times. If you didn't, let me know. But I think we went over that. Those again, 7 ways that small business can borrow money. Let's see, what's the last one? Can you do a video on how to monetize family land, please? Oh, cool. I'll do that. That'd be interesting. Monetize family land. And I actually have some experience with doing that. It's Renata Bates. I hope I pronounced your name right, but I definitely look into that because I actually have some experience with doing that. But I definitely would do that. Try to get that out to you guys this month and everything. Oh, no problem, no problem. My pleasure. But again, just a quick discussion I want to have with you guys in regards to 7 ways small businesses can borrow money. Guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Got a lot of great information coming out for you guys during the month of April. You guys know I got my second COVID shot on a Thursday afternoon. They had your boy laid out and hurting Friday, so I couldn't really do the show. But we're gonna have the dollar hour this Thursday at 8 p.m. I think we're talking about finances and relationships. I think that's how what we're gonna have there, dealing with family and dealing with relationships before with your finances and being the business on how to kind of stabilize that and juggle it. You know, sometimes your significant other has a problem how you doing certain things, that be male or female type. But it's gonna be a pretty good show. We had a dollar hour back this week, this Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got a couple more live feeds we're gonna do this week. Be on the lookout for more great videos. We got them with credit and financing. I think we got another grant video coming out this week. But most part, I want to thank you guys for all the love and support you've been giving me. Make sure you follow us on TikTok under Mr. Short Dollar. Follow us at Majestic Biz One under Instagram, Mr. Short Dollar on Facebook, and yeah, and this this being the main mode of communication, that being the YouTube channel. That's why all the videos there. We got over 200 videos on the YouTube channel. Everything's been segregated now, so if you actually even look for some of the grants and programs, I got a straight grant playlist, so you better find those on there. So I look forward to helping you guys out. Hey, Chantel Sneed. Hey, how you doing? I appreciate you tuning in. Let me see if I got any more questions. Okay, thanks, Ms. Bakes. I appreciate that. Gospel GW do speak to nonprofit businesses and capitalizing on monies. We have a lot of videos right now in regards to we say capitalizing on money. Probably need a little bit more clarity on that in regards to capitalizing. But we're gonna have some videos coming out in regards to taking advantage, more videos in regards to real estate, more videos in regards to collectibles. I had some videos in regards to that too. I want you guys to start, looking up information in regards to different kind of collectibles. I'm very, very big on income-driven assets. I'm not one of those big people. I'm not really big on the whole saving up to fund your 401k if you have $1 million in your bank account when you're 60 years old. And the reason why I say that, at 60 years old, if I don't spend half of my life trying to save all this money up and everything, I'm not saying don't save money. I'm saying that when you hit 60 years old, just say, and I'm using 60 as it's kind of like, between 60 and 65, you come retirement age. You pretty much gonna have most of your stuff paid off and everything. Do you need that much money? Even though spend half your life off to give to your kids or grandkids, but you really don't know if they're gonna take care and do it right. And I'm just speaking from this. And we'll have these discussions later on this week, because I've talked about this a lot, about the whole generational wealth thing. People say, they want to save up, but their parents didn't save up something for them. And they probably didn't save up for them for two. They didn't have it. They didn't know how to save it. And they know you weren't going to do right with it, And that's what happened a lot of times with that. But with that said, I'm a big proponent. And I want you guys to go back to the video that I did about how much to know you need to save in terms of retirement. Because and I broke down that whole, I think I did a video, I did a presentation, but I broke down the whole way you need to look at retirement in regards to if you retire at age 60 and you hypothetically live to age 80, how much money you would need. And at that point, depending on when you start, especially if you start in your 40s or 50s, would you even have enough money to live off then? And so that's why I talk about income-driven assets. Those are particular things that if you say, hypothetically, give you a quick example. If you retire at 60 and you plan to live to 80, we're just speaking hypotheticals, right? We want to live past that, right? We won't never die. We don't want to ever die. But just say we're living from 60 to 80 years old, right? And you said, at that point, I'm probably just going to need $30,000 a year to live. Kids grown, house paid off, it's just going to give me a Winnebago or a new Cadillac or Lincoln Town car. I'm just going to live life, right? Casino, a couple cruises, we're good. $30,000 a year. So $30,000 a year from 60 to 80 is $600,000. You 40-something years old, you 50-something years old, there's no way in the hell you're going to be able to save that kind of money up, right? So why even try to do it? Why break your neck? You're going to be done saved up. Just say best case scenario, $100,000. Hell, that's going to maybe last you a good 4-5 years. And now you break your neck, try to get a part-time job at Walmart. We ain't trying to do that, right? What we want to do, we start talking about income-driven assets. You spend that time now. If you're 40 or 50 years old now, don't break your neck to be putting all that money in your 401k or buy all these stocks and bonds. be trying to get things that are going to get you money. If you get you a rental property, because at the end of the day, to get $30,000 a year is what? $2,500 a month, right? So at the end of the day, if you got some rental properties, go get you some vending routes. Because remember, you go get you some candy machines or some vending routes. You got to think outside the box. You don't have to go changing the candy. You can actually get one of these organizations and they'll do all that stuff for you. Remember, we're not trying to do all this stuff overnight. So the money you spending to try to put into your retirement account, if it takes you, let's say $10,000 to actually get yourself in position to get those machines, get affiliated with those companies, acquire a rental property. But once, just say we hit 60, we've done that. From 20 to 60, we bought these properties, bought the machines. From 50 to 60, that 10 years we done did what we had to do to get it, and we getting $2,500 a month. That's gonna go forever. But we didn't break our neck to try to save $600,000 to do that. And I think that's more realistic, to put yourself in a situation where you got that kind of stuff going, okay? And so check out that video I did in regards to how to know how much money you need to save for retirement. I think that'll help you guys out a lot. But again, it's been your boy Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. I appreciate all the love and support. Let me make sure I'm getting got everybody squared away with everything. But I appreciate all the love and support you guys are giving us. Again, go to the YouTube where you're looking at the video right now. Hit that $ in the bottom right-hand corner. Stay subscribed to everything. Spread the word about the channel. Remember, you can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You got Snapchat, but that's about it. Everywhere we go, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thanks for all the love and support. Got more videos on the way to come. If I missed your question or anything pop up later on, you know all the contact information is in the description section, along with the 7-way that small business owners can borrow money. Take care. Love you guys and be safe.